The social class that you are born into is likely going to influence your behavior for the rest of your life, even if you change classes. And this can be explained by imprinting theory. Imprinting theory suggests that during very sensitive periods of our life, we learn behaviors to get through that period that influence us the rest of our life, even when the environment changes. This isn't for everything. Some imprints don't stay very long and some stay forever. And one of those that stay forever is class. I first encountered imprinting theory when I was designing my first study on social class disclosure at work, where I interviewed white men who had moved from a lower class to a higher class, and I asked them, do you disclose your lower income background at work? And if you don't, are there other cues that give it away? In those conversations with those men, it became very clear that even though they had changed classes, that their first class was still their identity and what they considered normal behavior. They could be grateful for their new class and perform in it effectively, but it was not who they were. For example, I had one tell me, look, I'm still a blue collar man, I just wear a suit now. I had another tell me that he could play the game, that he could socialize with people in upper classes, but it wasn't the hat that he wore in his leisure. Famous French sociologist Pierre Bourdieu theorized a lot about class. And that's a different field from mine, but we found similar things. He says that your class influences the habits you enjoy, the way you connect with people, the values you have, and just the way you think things work, the way you do things. And he called this the habitus. And everybody has a habitus, regardless of what class they're in. But most people aren't aware that they have a habitus. In my line of work, where I've researched the unwritten rules of work for people from low income backgrounds, I would say a habitus is like having a rule book you don't realize you have until you're in an environment that plays by different rules. And everybody else seems to know what to do. And then you're like, hey, can I borrow your rule book? And the other person's like, what are you talking about? Doesn't everyone do this? Sound familiar? This is why I give workshops on unwritten rules at work. Because if somebody works really hard and gets really lucky and moves into a different class and goes to a bougie work environment, they can look around and say, where is the rule book that everyone has? Because I don't have it, even if they're excellent at their job. And this is going to influence them feeling ostracized and deciding if they're going to stay at all. It can also lead to a lot of miscommunications, which will delay work. In miscommunication, 70% of business leaders already say is the number one business problem. And while our circumstances may change, our original rulebook doesn't. So if you're curious, send me your email and I'll shoot you my outline on my Unwritten Rules of Work workshop to see if it can help you out.